What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and of course, I got some new news for you, so listen up. Manny Pacquiao is taking on Amir Khan April 23rd of 2017. It is official. These guys will fight. There have been negotiations for the last 2 or 3 years of possibilities of these guys getting into the ring, and Khan's been looking for a fight, a big fight on this magnitude for a very long time, either Manny or Floyd. Years ago, Floyd did a voting poll just like Manny did, and Khan was the favorite, and he picked the other guy anyway. So, Manny Pacquiao is honorable, and by obeying who the people wanted him to fight. And they wanted him to fight Khan at 47%. So it's 100% sure that he's going to fight Amir Khan because that's what the people want. And I'm glad that Manny Pacquiao has stepped up like a real true champion. That's how it's done. That's an example of how it's done. Not saying it's always been done like that, with him. However, this particular time he got it right, and you got to take your hats off to him. Amir Khan, he came off a knockout loss to, Canelo Alvarez in the 6th round. It was brutal. It was a KO. So he's here to do 2 things. 1, redeem himself. 2, to get in there with the best. I mean, he's been in there with Canelo. Now he's going in there against Manny. He's fought some good fighters. And I'm glad, for his sake that that he has this opportunity. I guess if you set your standards high, that's what you get. If you set them low, that's what you get, right? So his standards are high, and he finally waited it out and got what he wants, because you got to think of it. He could have picked Kell Brook to fight, and then, he always kind of looked down on Kell Brook, because he looked at him as not a good enough draw or not a big enough attraction, to fight him, to get in the ring with him, So he kept his standards high, and if he would have done that, Kell Brook wouldn't be fighting Errol Spence and giving Errol Spence a shot, you know what I'm saying? So, at the title. So it is all good, man. This is a very good year of boxing, man. Garcia, Thurman, Klitschko, Joshua, Manny, Khan, Golovkin, Jacobs. Dude, it goes on and on, and I can't wait to see these fights. Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan, they were once trained by Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach trained them both. They sparred numerous of times, so they know each other very well. So it's going to be bombs over Baghdad. It's going to be bombs over Baghdad. This is going to be a good fight. I love to see it in Macau, somewhere neutral. That affects the betting odds. And it depends on what type of Manny Pacquiao comes into the ring. And then, Amir Khan, they did spar, and he did train with Freddie Roach years ago. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I mean? When he got knocked out by Danny Garcia, he went on over to Virgil Hill and stuff like that. So, but they know each other. So, let's see if they haven't been worn and torn that much to get in there and have one hell of a fight. But stylistically, it should be a good fight. Because I looked at those tapes and I saw them and again, and I seen Amir Khan was getting into Manny's shit, but Manny was countering Amir Khan, so I know Manny can take the punch, but, that speed of Amir Khan will give Manny Pacquiao some trouble. It's just, will Manny Pacquiao's power, be too much for Amir Khan? So there's so many different ways this fight could go, because these guys, Manny was he was stepping around the speed of Amir Khan and countering with those right hooks, what he's master for, Ask Ricky Hatton about that, you know what I mean? Ask Antonio Margarito about that. Ask these guys about Manny Pacquiao's right hand. And that's the same right hook that I seen him land in that sparring session. So I think that will be a good factor and a big factor for this fight. Now, the money, I'm not sure about the fight purse. I really don't care at this point, you know what I mean? Because I'm not getting paid. However, the money should be right, but the fight is on. They're 2 friends. They've known each other for a long time. Manny's a good guy, for the most part, nice Christian guy, so. But again, I'm glad that he stepped up, man, because there's so many people that put up those polls, and it just feels like, I just wanted to do a survey to see what people think, and they still don't do what the fans want him to do. So he lives up to his title, the people's champion, So, and you look at it like that, You know, his nemesis, Floyd Mayweather, did the same thing. And what did Floyd do? You know, Floyd picked Maidana over Khan, and Khan was he was the favored guy. He was the voted guy in to fight. So he picked the other guy. So he just showed, the people that he doesn't give a shit about the fans. He's about Floyd Money Mayweather. So, and then I don't know if this was a tactic, but it does really magnify that, Manny is the true, or this is an example of the true people's champ, because he does what the people want him to do. So the fight will be on April 23rd, 2017. The venue hasn't been set. However, the fight is on, and I'm excited about it. But anyway, this is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. Please subscribe. You guys been counterpunched. Peace.